Megjöttünk?
Megjöttünk. Megjöttünk. Hú, reggel nem forgattunk alapot.
Forgattunk régiek kötősök.
Most egy nem alakúbuszban vagyunk, ezt szerintem látjátok ti is. Janitól kaptunk kölcsön egy autót.
Nem Janitól, Jani főnökétől.
Ja, bocs, Jani főnökétől, Tonitól.
Mert itt nagyon sok helyre nem tudunk beállítani a lakóbusszal. Egyszerűen tilos, mert kicsit sűrű a város. Úgyhogy ezzel a... Hát a Bence a múltkor Janinkban Chevy Blazert mondott, amit nekem jobban örültem volna, de...
Nem, ez csak egy Chevy Cruiser.
Cruise. Milyen Cruiser?
Hát tudod vele cruise-olni.
Na itt vagyunk.
Hogy értsed, Opel Astra. Ez az a méret.
Pajó.
Dévú.
Lanos?
Nem.
Kalosz.
Nem.
Numira.
Lanos.
Nagya!
Lanos.
Akire van torokó! Sobra!
Mindennyian jártatok már, gondolom, állatkertbe, voltatok már hüllőházba. Hát én is találkoztuk már itt csörgőkígyóval, mindenféle kígyóval, sima kígyóval, de ez a szuper kígyó. Ez nagyon-nagyon fontos. Ez a minden kígyók legkígyóbbika, hogyha lehet így ezzel a képzavarral élnem. Nem véletlenül állít ez az autó. Ugye, ha már itt vagyunk Las Vegasba, mindig meglátogatjuk ezt a céget, mert szívünkhöz oly közel áll, és az elnök-vezérigazgatójával pedig, mondhatom azt, hogy lassan baráti kapcsolatot ápolunk, mert közvetlenül vele vagyunk kapcsolatban. Annyira, hogy Bencének már írta, hogy ne is írjon e-mailt, inkább hívja föl telefonon, mert egyszerű beszélgetni. És itt vagyunk a Shelby Americannél, ahol megnézzük a múltat, the present, a jelen, és egy kicsit a jövőt is, mert mutatunk nektek olyat is, amit még máshol nem láttatok, de ugye van ehhez, hogy is mondjam, felkent emberünk, aki a legjobban ismeri ezt a céget, mert 16 évig dolgozott Carroll Shelbyvel, 40 éve autóversenyzik, 3 éve az autóvaló húztuk ki a szerelőszéken, Gary Patterson az elnök-vezérigazgató, úgyhogy lesz szuper kígyó, lesz nagyon régi szuper kígyó, meg lesz a jövőbeli szuper kígyó, ami inkább szuper angolna lesz. Ez egy ilyen rész lesz. Ez itt egy prototípus autó, amivel próbálgatnak dolgokat. Valamelyik sikerül, valamelyik nem. Szeretettel üdvözlünk mindenkit. Hát nem tudom. Szerintem a legjobb fejebb autóipari vezető otthonában, a Shelby Americannél, Las Vegasban. Ide muszáj eljönni, gyerekek, mindig. Mindig van valami. Szuper kígyó. Ez nem ropi. Ez nem az a megszokott Shelby. Nem az a megszokott Shelby, de hát hozzá kellett nyúlni, ha elektromos, ha nem. Hogy mégis mi a jövőkép, meg hogy gondolják ők ezt, arról majd beszélgetünk Gary Pattersonnal, ugye az elnökkel, mégpedig ebben az autóban, mert fogok vele menni egy karikát. Igazából még nem tartanak, nem is, hogy nem tartanak ott, mert folyamatosan kísérletezgetnek, meg nézegetik, hogy mi, hogyan, hány méter, hogy hozzányúljanak a teljesítményéhez is. Nem mondhat erről többet, de az már nagyon jól látszik, hogy több hűtőlevegőt fog kapni a Mustang Mach-E, mindenképpen, illetve, hogy nyilván rajta van ez egy Shelby-s body kit, ahogy illik, splitterrel, megkapta a fényezést, a gyorsító csíkokat, a fékhez is hozzányúltak, a futóműhöz, és hát hátul se maradt minden úgy egészen, ahogy volt, de azért jól mutatja a kékkel szegett Shelby felirat, hogy ez már elektromos autó. Hát nagyon kíváncsi vagyok, ugye beltérben látszanak az új ülések, nyilván Recaro, kék, fehér, ez is. Haladni kell a korral, de ugye itt azért nem eszik olyan forrónak ását, mint nálunk Európában, ezt mindenképpen érdemes megjegyezni, mert ha most így megfordulok erre, azt nézem ezt az utat, akkor itt azért még nem megoldott okvetlenül minden, nincs még olyan szinten az elektrifikáció, és ezt merem állítani, mert ezt tapasztaljuk, meg mondják azok is, akik itt élnek, mint nálunk otthon. Carbon. Carbonetti. Hát kíváncsi vagyok, hogy mit mond erről majd Geri. Ez lesz. De amíg odabent az 5 literes kompresszorok, mert csak a kompresszor 5 liter füttyögnek, addig úgy gondolom, hogy itt még azért odébb van ez az elektromos átállás, bár tény, hogy már érezhetően jelen vannak a piacon, és hát szeletet követeltek a kalácsból maguknak az elektromos autók, főleg itt a nagyvárosokban. Kint vidéken azért annyira még nem látsz, hogy kimentünk Los Angelesből, hirtelen eltűntek a Teslák is. Úgyhogy, ja, az első elektromos Shelby. Itt van.
Yeah, I was on the road for
I really appreciate
3 weeks
your time.
before I just got back this week, and on Tuesday.
It's a rush.
I've been working till 8, 9 o'clock every night and get here at 4 in the morning. So
I really appreciate your time, Gary.
no problem.
I know it's a problem, but you get good manners, so you said it's no problem. But that's a go on over
I just
there.
don't. I wish I had time for the track and all that. I just don't.
No problem.
Sorry, the camera's foggy because we were playing with the back stuff. We're putting a lit pony in the back, but it's not done yet. So, but they, sprayed it and then it got shit on the camera.
So it's foggy a little bit.
Oh, it's foggy as hell.
So let's take a trip around the block like last time.
All right.
My first question is, but be honest with me.
Yeah.
What was the feeling when you put a Shelby logo on an electric car?
It's funny. It's a very good question because a lot of people want to know, and it's new technology. And did you ever meet Carroll Shelby?
No, I don't have the opportunity.
So I worked with Carroll for the last 16 years of his life. And I can tell you, Carroll was all about new things and innovation and trying new ideas. So we had a Cobra, as a matter of fact, that ran on hydrogen. All right?
Really?
Yeah, we had it, and it didn't make sense at the time. It was like 2003, but we tried it. And, that doesn't mean hydrogen won't be something that's a future program, but at the time it didn't make sense. We have Carroll on tape in 2011, the year before he passed away, and he was talking about how excited he was about new developments, new technology, new powertrains, and he specifically called out electric cars.
Really?
Yes,
In 2011?
he did. In 2011.
You got it on tape?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you get a proof of it?
Oh, absolutely. We can get you a copy of that if you want. So that's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because it really shows that Carroll was forward thinking. And if you want, you can kind of go up over the overpass there.
Yeah.
But it shows Carroll was forward thinking. And
over there?
You just go up the.
Okay.
And he tried at the Indianapolis 500, which is an iconic race here in the United States.
I know.
In the late 60s, 1968 specifically, they were running turbine-powered Indy cars.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So
but they
you-
were banned after.
Yeah, they were banned, but they ran them for like 2 years. Carroll Shelby had two turbine-powered Indy cars. Now, he wasn't going to pass tech because I think he was pushing the rule book a little bit further
Just tell
than
me
he
which way
should
to
have.
go.
Yeah, you can just go down a little bit and then we can turn around and come back.
Okay.
So he was a little bit outside the rule book, so he never actually ran in the race with the turbine car. But there's even a little Hot Wheels turbine-powered Indy car that says Shelby on it because he was doing it. So Carroll was all about new things and innovation and trying stuff. We tried a lot of stuff that didn't work. So did Thomas Edison, right? But you don't read about those.
Yeah.
What you read about is, the successes.
The successes, yeah.
Okay, and right now we're involved with electric because we think it may have a good future. There's a lot of pros and cons right now, but look at this telephone, right? Look at the technology in this phone. To get this technology 15 years ago, you'd have taken up the whole front seat of this car, right?
Yeah.
Now you can put it in your pocket, right?
So you believe in progression.
So I
and
think
in development.
yeah, so I think we do. And what if I told you, and I don't know this to be true, but what if I told you that, in 10 years, the power cell for this vehicle was, the size of the seat instead of the whole floor of the car.
It exists nowadays. It's called fuel cell.
Yeah, it's a fuel cell. So it's, if you can make it smaller, if you can make it so it doesn't require as many natural resources, if you can make it so that you can charge it in 5 minutes, like it is when you go to the gas station and you just download, all those things now make that more accessible technology.
Yep.
And so I think you've got to get involved and you got to think this way so that you're involved from the beginning and you evolve with the technology. We're working with several partners right now about future powertrain for electric. So can't really say what it is yet, but I can tell you it's pretty exciting stuff. And will it really work? I guess we'll see. But Carroll would be all about it. When we got him in the museum and we'd look around and there was the first Cobra ever built. You mentioned that earlier today that you wanted to do that. Maybe just go over here and just turn around. But if you look at that, we had the first Cobra, we had Daytona Coupes, we had all these very significant cars, that everybody's read about over the history of Shelby for 60 years. And we asked Carroll, what's your favorite? And he said the next one.
The next one, yeah.
And when you look at that, that's the right answer. And when I look at things, because I drive cars, I mean, I'm decent at the racetrack.
Yeah,
so, but I look at it as a driver, okay? This mirror here, right here, the rear view mirror, very important, okay? What's behind you does count.
Doesn't.
But you only spend this much time with it. The
As
windshield.
Ferrari said, what's behind you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, it does because sometimes you got to learn from it, right?
Yeah.
So if you always look in the past, this is in the past, right? If you look in the past, then you can learn from the past and hopefully you'll not repeat mistakes that you may have made. All of us make mistakes, okay? But you don't focus your whole time on this, right? If all we talk about is the world championship in 1965 and beating Ferrari and, with the Daytona Coupes and then winning the overall with Ford, we wouldn't be moving forward. Yeah. Right now, we've got more product line, more things on the, on the gas than we've ever known, right? And I'm a guy, I believe a hybrid burns gas and rubber. Right, so I'm one of those guys, right? And I still like shifting the gears and all that. But the new DCT and the new GT500, and you look what Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, all these. There's a reason for that. Those transmissions shift in like 80 milliseconds. And as good as I am with the stick, I can't beat that, right? So if you want to go fast, maybe it's that. I mean, this car, we haven't even modified it yet. It does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds.
I just want to ask.
Which isn't bad, right?
That's crazy.
I mean, it's silly fast, especially if you look at where we were even 10 years ago. Yeah. But, now they have them that do it under 2 seconds, right?
That's crazy.
So you know, instant torque and all that. Yeah, there's limitations to electric. You know, it doesn't go long distances or road course, and you know, things get warm and stuff like that. But you know, if you look at the Model T, it wasn't so hot either compared to where we are today. You know, so we are involved with electric because we're excited about it, and we know for a fact that Carroll Shelby himself would be excited about it. You want to, when you can, get in the left turn lane.
You better believe in fuel cell or as burning hydrogen or the battery power.
No, you
Which
will.
one do you choose if you can, for the future? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's both that have its merits, and we can both talk about strengths and weaknesses. And you know, everybody looks at batteries. Well, maybe there's other things that are electric too. If you look at trains, you know, they have these big diesel engines that power generators that power electric motors, and that's really what. So I mean, all kinds of stuff out there, and some of this stuff's been around for a long time. I gotta believe, you know, right here that you know, there's a lot that we're going to learn, and if you look at technology, it's exponentially developing, right? So
crazy.
is it electric? Is it hydrogen? I don't know, but I can tell you we're involved with electric right now, and we're excited about it.
How can you tune up an electric vehicle? Like, okay, take this one. It's a high technology vehicle. We know it. Two motors, big power, big torque. What can you do with that? Okay, you do the suspension, the brakes, but
Oh yeah.
where do you start? It's something new for you.
Oh, it is new for us, and we have several paths that we're working on right now, and unfortunately, I can't say a whole lot about that. So that's the.
But it's possible.
Oh, it's absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible to soup these things up just like we did with the gas cars and stuff like that. And you learn, you know. I remember in the early '90s, I was, you know, beginning to work on, you know, a lot of cars and stuff like that, and did it as a hobby myself. So if you go up the second driveway, you can just turn in. I was scared to death of the computers and all that, because it was like, well, you know, give me a screwdriver and, you know, a little wrench, and I can adjust a carburetor.
Yep.
And I can adjust the distributor, and I can adjust timing and things like that. But what am I going to do with this computer? Totally scared about it. I bought a supercharger for my car. I had a Mustang, and I put a supercharger on it, and I was scared to death. I put this thing on, and out of the box, I followed the instructions, and it had all these quick disconnect fittings that fit right into the wiring harness, and it worked perfect. And I turned a key, and it started, and it ran fabulous. And I'm like, holy crap, maybe there's a future, right, with this, because I was used to working on my 69 Cobra Jet Mach 1 with a carburetor and distributor and all that. So I had to get my mindset thinking differently.
Okay.
I think the electric cars are similar to that, in that we don't know, we're not there yet. If I look at that now primitive supercharger, the way it was great for 1991. But today we're so much better. If I took my GT500 as an example, we had it on the chassis dyno. And we're playing with, now you get on the laptop, right? And you can change timing and all kinds of stuff.
Mapping and all stuff.
But the computer's also smart. The computer learns from your driving habits, learns what you're doing, learns what you have in the fuel tank. So after numerous runs, and we played with different things, we were, you know, having to deal with the low octane that's available here, right, at the gasoline pump. You can put good fuel in, really runs good, but we were limited to that. So we're like, okay, knowing that, we had our baseline numbers, rear wheel numbers, and I had a can of unleaded race fuel.
That's something different.
Sitting over there on the counter, and I said, hey, the car's got a half a tank of 91 octane, and our octane is different the way they rate it. But it's probably the equivalent of you guys having maybe 94 or 5, something like that.
98, yeah.
So anyway, but it's still crappy. The 98's actually more like our 93, 94, if you can get that. So you have good fuel available in Europe, but relatively speaking, it's not like it's 110, which is what really works good. So I took that fuel and I added it to the tank. So I have a half a tank of regular fuel.
It was a mix.
And I put the 109 in it, right? 5 gallons. And I shook it up, ran the car a little bit, right? Ran the car a little bit. We made another pull.
And
30 rear wheel horsepower. Like
Just like
that.
that.
We didn't change the tune. The computer saw the better fuel.
yeah, the timing, the firing.
And it automatically
Adjust.
changed the timing and stuff to take advantage
understand.
of the better fuel, of the better gasoline. You know, it's not all inclusive. It's not a vehicle that was designed for flex fuel, but look at those vehicles. Those have the technology to put E85 in it. They could run 91 octane. They could run 87 octane. You know, those kind of things are evolving over time. That stuff didn't even exist, you know, 10, 15 years ago. So you're asking me about electric cars. I think there's a lot we're going to learn.
Great. So, this was the future, full of cooling ducts and everything. Why do we try out the past a little bit? That one.
So that's the past. So, but it's not really the past.
It's not really
No,
the
no,
past.
no. So we can turn that, kick that off so we don't kill the battery because I got to drive this thing today.
Oh, you need to
So yeah, I'm going to drive it.
Oh, man.
But that's the past, but it's also the present. So if you look at what we're doing today at Shelby, we're not building any electric vehicles yet for production.
What do you think? How much time do we have with those?
I don't have much time. So, oh, you mean as far as the future?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've got a lot more time than the politicians want to tell you.
Oh, thank you. That you
Oh, I
said
think
that.
you do, because what they want to do, unless technology totally changes, and then you've still got, you know, millions and millions of vehicles on the road, and not everybody can have a new vehicle.
That's true.
So, but I think there's still really good technology. You can take these cars the way they are today, starting them up in your garage, and with the door down, and you can still breathe for a while, right? For a long time, actually. You know, it's hard to kill yourself anymore, right? So the clean air technology they have, even with, you know, petroleum is amazing. And you're not going to get rid of the oil companies. We need them for all kinds of
zillion of
things,
things,
plastic and things like, all of that stuff needs petroleum. So that's in it for the very foreseeable future. And if you look at even the gas reserves in the U.S., we've got many years, much past our lifetime, of plenty of fuel. And so we've got a good future, I think, with you know, with the gasoline yet. So I wouldn't count that out.
Right.
And you know, I was in Nebraska this last week, and a buddy of mine, he's a farmer there, and they have tractors that run on electricity.
Really?
And it's nice, but we're not quite there yet for
We're not
his
quite
operation. So as an example, he says, when it comes to harvest time, I have to do it when the weather's right, when the crops are ready, and I run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
That's a lot.
for 3 weeks to get my crops in. I don't have time to charge an electric vehicle. We bring a tanker truck out to the farm, and we have to fuel on the fly.
On the fly.
Right? To get the product in. So, you know, some stuff it makes sense. This car right here, I love this car. It's exciting, it's fun, it's fast, it's zippy, all-wheel drive. I can commute with it. I live 70 miles from here.
Okay.
I can round trip it, no problem, right?
Got
I
the
just plug
range.
it in at night, in the morning it's ready to go. So I'm fine with it. But, you know, if I'm gonna go cross-country pulling a heavy trailer, that's the vehicle I want. Turbo diesel,
Yeah.
you know, crew cab, long bed, full stock, 20,000 plus pounds. And, you know, you can pull it across country. I just did that a few months ago.
And if you want to hear some noise, then we need that. So let's take a ride with that.
Yeah, that'll make some noise.
Hát érdekeseket mondott.
So let me get this one out.
Oké,
or this one
mindjárt
out.
kiszedi ott a szuper.
I don't have a lot of time.
Nincs sok ideje.
We need 3 minutes and we are good with the cameras. Sajnálom, hogy ilyen kapkodós.
De figyelj, tök jókat mondott, majd kapunk kérd el a footage-ot, ahol 2011-ben Carroll Shelby arról beszél, hogy milyen jó az elektromos autó a jövőre nézve, 2011-ben, egy évvel a halál előtt. Azt mondja, megvan nekik. Nem mondom, ne, azt mondja, de. Figyelj, bazzeg, most forogsz, hogy nézzük, ő az elnök, kezén egy $30 Casio G-Shock póló, azt mondja, fél, úgy ki vagyok, azt mondja, 8-9 óráig vagyunk bent minden nap, azt mondja, tegnap értem haza nem tudom honnan, 70 mérföldre lakok innen, ezzel járom úgy, ezzel megyek haza, szóval ő nem az irodába ül, és tényleg ezt láttuk 3 éve, és most is jön, megy, bocs srácok, ennyi időm van, gyertek, csináljuk. Bement egy rendszám, érte, azt ő teszi rá a saját kezé, nem becsicskított valakit, hogy Sanyikám hozzad már
a 3 éve mi az alelnökkel forgattunk.
Vele ő is itt volt.
Ő is itt volt, de hogy a kocsival a másikkal mentél.
Igen, igen.
Nem, most nem teszem be a neve.
Ugye ezen egyelőre nem változtattak semmit. Nyilván raktak rá egy bodykittet, volt egy kamera a földön. Csináltak egy plusz légbeömlőt, a villanymotorhűtésnek, minden. Azt mondta, hogy...
Mert hogy majd szükség lesz rá.
Azt mondta, hogy lehet tuningolni. Igen, nem mondhat most még semmit, de hogy jó, hogy igen, hogy nagyon is, hogy lehet. Lehalkítom a telefonom, ez annyira zavart, hogy közben csilingelt. De hogy igen, hogy nagyon is, hogy lehet.
Azért szomorú, nem? Egy kicsit egy elektromos autónos.
Figyelj, nyilván ő is elmondta, hogy figyelj, hogy városban jó, azt mondja, de hogyha mennék vidékre, ezzel mennék.
Hát a Super Duty.
Ezzel mennék, mert dupla kabinos, 20 000 fontot húzhat, meg turbódízel. Szóval nem hülye ő se, látja a technológia határait, nem is mondta azt, hogy most minden ez, hogy megvan a helye, de hogy amúgy már használható, és ugye ő megmondta, hogy én nem tudom, hogy mi lesz, azt mondja, hogy mibe higgyünk, a tüzelőanyagcellába vagy az aksiba. Menni kell előre, mert ugye előre kell nézni. Azt, mint a tükörbe látsz, hátad mögött van, az néha fontos belenézni, de az a múlt.
De egyébként ők a Forddal közösen gondolkoznak arról, hogy mi legyen akár a Shelby jövője? Hát
figyelj, a Shelby jövője az egyértelműen az lesz, ami az autógyártás jövője. Mondta, hogy nézem, mit csinál a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Maserati. És ezek még itt lesznek jó darabig. Rengeteg fosszilis üzemanyagunk van még, hogy nem kell félni.
De meg Amerikában 35-kor nem fog semmi történni, mint nálunk.
Igen, de hogy ők erre ugye most kezdték el csinálni, szóval ők már agyalnak rajta, hogy ez lesz, és jól csinálják. Na most kivisszük a Super Snake-et, mert ez csak 875 lóerős.
Csak.
Szeretjük, gyönyörű. Van egy terpesztése, Jolika.
Jó, a hajtómű az rendben van.
Rendes gumi van rajta. Great rubber, nice body kit.
This one will, yeah, it's got our wide body and stuff on it. Let me pull it out quick and then we'll get in.
Kamerádra vigyázz, mert ott van a zene.
This one won't be as quiet as the last one.
Thank God.
Forog a kamera?
This one's got a lot of character.
It feels your heart!
Peti,
csak
mi a baj? Megijedtél?
Csak állgasd a sikít a kompresszor.
Hát ők ebben az igazán jó.
Euroleasing. A fejlődés motorja.
A műsor támogatója az Axia Kft. Mezőgazdasági és építőipari szolgáltatások szívvel, lélekkel. Műsorunk támogatója a Prémium Flotta kezelő Eurofleet Zrt. Mi mozgásban tartjuk flottáját, mindig, mindenkor. A műsor támogatója a Makita. Makita XGT. Új rendszer kiemelkedő teljesítményű feladatokhoz.
Gary,
yeah,
you can drive. Why don't you take me for a drive?
Okay, we can do that.
Vigyen ő!
Menjen ő!
Yeah, persze.
Versenzik, tud. Nobody can say that the president of Shelby American and takes him for a drive.
We can do that. Uh-oh.
Look man, I just drive the GT500 at home on a racetrack and I need to say, that's
a car,
beast.
isn't it?
I think it was the most powerful car in terms of raw power. Oh man, you just turn everything off and it always slides and twists and screams.
Oh,
and
that thing is just, it pulls like
it's intense.
Freight train. It's just nasty. And you know what? So I just put a 3.8 Whipple on mine. I have one.
Yeah, of course.
So And that car will make, you know, easily over 900 horse on this crappy fuel. And if I want to put a different pulley and put good fuel in, it's over 1,000 horses, like that. It's like amazing. It's like, but it's, again, it's today's technology.
Yeah.
And it blows clean air and runs on pump gas. And, you know, I mean, it's just, and you could drive it cross country. It's a nice car, like this thing.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a bad car.
So this is the Super
nice
Snake.
car. This is a Super Snake, okay? And it's, you know, it's uncharacteristic of me because I like my Super Snake. I have an older one. I have the first concept we did in 07. You know, 4-speed. The Series 1 I just drove in this morning, 4-speed. Almost everything I had is, well, 6-speed. But anyway, it's manual transmission is my point. So I love manual transmissions. I like the engagement. I like, you know, and I like burning rubber and
you know, like to get involved.
Oh
in the
yeah,
thing.
I'm very involved with all that stuff. So that's who I am anyway. So, you know, I'm all about that kind of stuff. And
because you're old school.
Yeah, I'm old school, but you know what? But I'm also forward thinking. So you know, I'm old school, but when I get in my 69 Cobra Jet Mach 1, which I still have from high school.
Really?
Okay, yeah. That car was amazing back then. Okay? Because 50 years before that, you're driving a Model T. Compared to a Model T, that car is amazing. You know, it accelerates, it turns, it's got creature comforts like roll-up windows and, you know, AM radio. And I'm just, you know, which today we all laugh about that stuff. But back then, compared to a Model T,
put it in context.
It was very innovative. Now we've gone 50 plus years after that. Now we're in this car that is silly faster than that car it was. It turns, it stops, you can take it across country, you can run on this crappy fuel we've got, and it blows clean air and all that stuff.
You don't like your fuel. You mentioned it 3 or 4 times during our speak. You don't like the fuel here in the States.
No, the fuel's crappy here, but
why?
Because, you know, that's how they are. But you know, I think we could have better fuel, and if we did, then you could make more power. But you know what? For the fuel that we have, runs pretty good.
So this is the 22 Super Snake.
Yeah, this car's been through a ringer. So it started out, I think this one started out as an 18, and then we've upfitted it over the years to make it, you know, the new 22 fenders and hood and all that stuff. So it's kind of evolved over time. But yeah, it drives like, you know, 22, and you know, when you turn it, it's right there. It's, you know, it's flat, and it's,
you change the whole suspension, kind of it's wider. You change the bushings.
Yeah, so we got the bushings changed, all that kind of stuff. You know.
What did you do with the transmission? Do you add plus cooling?
10-speed, and you have to add some cooling to it if you're really going to go with it. You know, but you know, if you if we put it back in sport, you can also downshift it. You know, put it where you want, right?
Oh, okay.
And then it goes.
And you got some good brakes on it.
Oh, it's got brakes. So it actually is better.
Brakes.
But yeah, you know, I think part of the reason I think I had the traction control on. So if you take that off, it'll do a little better. But I got to be careful because the police have a thing up here, and I don't have much fuel.
Just say that.
Right?
Okay.
So you know, but you can take off.
So you can bounce the limiter as long as you want. It doesn't change the gear.
But you know.
I just see the smile on your face.
Oh yeah. But this one, you know, looks like we got some with it too. But you know, it's a quick car. It pulls.
It makes 825 horsepower right now, something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of torque.
A lot of torque. So, you know, it gets people's attention.
Do you still had enough orders for your cars, or how did COVID change your sales during the last 3 years? Because a lot of car companies are struggling because of the COVID.
Well, the way that, so it's not the buying of the car that's the problem. We could sell every one we make. Every one we make. It's getting the base car you know, and all the supply chain issues. So that's where we've got.
So you got a problem with the base cars.
Yeah, you can't. If you can't get the base vehicle, then you can't upfit it.
Yep.
And there's a shortage in the United States and probably everywhere, for the chips and all that kind of stuff. That's what's hurting us. It's not the demand. People want these cars.
They want it.
They want it. Oh, they absolutely want it. So
thank God, right now we got them in Hungary also. So we had the opportunity to try them out. So, oh man. Yeah. So you see the future of Shelby is a little bit electric. You need to go with the flow. Look forward.
I think we need to be innovative. I think we need to try new things and test it out and check your limits. You know, we try different things on the gas cars right now too. So, you know, we've got, you know, different brakes, different suspension, and sometimes stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. This is a prototype. Not everything we put on this car is good, right?
Okay.
We've made mistakes with it. Somebody had a muddy finger. You know, but okay, so you tried it and it didn't work. Okay, so you change it back and do something different.
So you have the space and pace to make mistakes when you try.
Absolutely. You quit doing that, you're dead. You know, in the United States, we have some very, very large, profitable companies. You may have heard of them. They were around for over 100 years. Sears.
Yeah.
Right? JCPenney.
Yeah, JCPenney.
Kmart.
I was buying there.
You know what? They're all out of business.
Really?
Out of business.
Oh no. Really?
Done. Yeah. Why?
Because of Amazon and.
Well, no. Well, yeah. So look at that. So Amazon and Walmart and all those people, they were innovative, forward thinking. They pushed the limits. They didn't just accept what they've been doing for the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So
I know where you're heading.
You have a choice. You can innovate and you can think forward, regardless of your age, or you can be stuck in the past and you can be out of business. Shelby is not going out of business.
Yeah, I really.
We're going to be hard on the gas, and right now there's a lot of fuel. In fact, we just debuted. It's an off-road only car, so it doesn't pass. We're only going to do 10 a year, but it's 1,300 horsepower.
Yeah, that sounds good. Right? Yeah.
And it burns lots of rubber. You know, but
lots of rubber.
You know, and a little bit of gas.
Oh man, I really want you to be here for the next 100 years because there are not too much companies. They are still like you.
Well, you know, get busy living or get busy dying, and we're putting it on it. So, I don't know this.
So Gary, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you very much. You're a really good guy. And I like that you run this company.
Well, we got car people running a car company, and that's what you need.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere, but
managers, a lot of managers running the car companies and marketing directors running the car.
Yeah, and that's, you know.
Just a few of us left.
We're car people.
Thank you, Gary.
Sir,
thank you very much.
It's always an honor.
Ő volt Gary Patterson, a Shelby American elnöke, egy ekkora jó fej. Elképesztő. Sziasztok!
Csík! Gyere, ne félj tőlem!
Gyere Csík, mert 10 perc múlva jönnek a népek. Kinyit a múzeum. És akkor már csak képezni fogunk tudni.
Facebookozni otthon is lehet.
Nem Facebookozni.
Tudom, vicceltem.
Nagyon próbálom megtudni, hogy hova tuningolták, mivel.
Lehet, ki van írva.
Amíg a Csík utána néz, addig mutatnék valamit. Nagyon sok autó nem az, aminek látszik. Ugye filmeztünk, majd is posztoltunk mindjárt, Cobra, Shelby Cobra. 100-ból 98 az igazából kitkár, ami tök jó, meg szuperül működik, meg V8 van benne. De ez igazi. 2 kompresszor, hengersoronként egy.
De minek? Mármint, hogy oké, hogy...
Minek?
Hát ekkora súlyhoz?
Hát erőből sose elég, Bence. Hát mi az, hogy minek? 2 kompresszor, tesó. Ráadásul ugye a 427-es motor, ami nem már zacskó szotyi. Ez
Ezzel odébb állsz.
This must be a sick car.
It is.
This must be a sick car with a big block and the 2 superchargers.
Yeah, 2 4-barrels.
2 4-barrel cars.
And it weighs about 2,500 pounds.
You need a
Power weight ratio is really good.
you need a really big boss to drive this. Well, what was the power it got?
I don't know
How
what
much
this has
HP?
ever made. You know, Carol used to say they were 800 horse, but I don't know if they are. We haven't tested that, but you know, it looks badass. So.
That's forward thinking, like you said.
Oh yeah, but you think about it, 1965. I mean, who had, you know, 700-800 horses and 2,500 pounds? I mean, nobody had that, right? So that's why, you know, you wonder why Carroll Shelby beat Ferrari. You know, just put a bigger hammer in it,
Yeah,
right?
He was a crazy guy.
He was, but he also, you know, drove. So, you know, you look at the MG that he first drove, and, you know, he was crazy in that car, and that thing didn't have as much power as my lawnmower, right? But, you know, and there's some cool stuff. So come on over here, I'll show you some more stuff. This is pretty neat. So you see that FE big block Ford, which is really badass.
Yeah.
You know, we got a couple Daytona stuff here, but this guy did one. This is kind of a cool car. So it was actually done out of copper, and
It's fully made of copper.
It's fully copper. It's not a wrap. It's not paint. It's actually copper, and
Jesus.
so and then they polished it. So then it's like gold. But then check out this engine. Single overhead cam 427 from 1966, right? So that was something that they tried to do. They were going to run it in NASCAR, but they outlawed the engine as soon as it came out because it made so much power. It would have just totally dominated.
Because of that.
Oh yeah, but you know, to me, you would welcome that.
It was so powerful.
But it was very, very powerful. So right from the factory, naturally aspirated without the injection, because this has injection on, because we played with it.
So it's copper.
But it's all copper. So this was more of a show kind of thing to show people what it looks like in polished gold, right? But it makes no sense because copper is very heavy
And
compared to aluminum and expensive, right? But, you know, that wasn't what this car was about, right? That was more about, you know, lightweight aluminum, a lot of power. This was more about, let's make something that just totally blows you away when you look at it.
It looks
right?
gorgeous.
And it is gorgeous. So, I mean, there's cool stuff here. Yeah, but single overhead cam 427. And, you know, Daytona coupes and, you know,
those
this
was the world beaters,
yeah, so that's a continuation. This is the right size and shape and all those kind of things here. So this one's
those.
cool.
I love
289. But this is what beat the Ferrari GTS.
Yeah, I love those to see running Goodwood.
Oh.
He's also here. My colleague is a member of the Car of the Jury.
Oh yeah.
Car of the Year jury, and he were there, and oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I like those.
Is this the car that was crashed at Goodwood?
No.
One of them was crashed and my heart was breaking.
Oh yeah.
There are 4 of them, right? Oh,
There's 6 of them.
6.
So we were actually at Goodwood. I was there. In fact, we've got, if you look, we've got posters of it on the wall. So we were in Goodwood in 2015 with all 6 of the original Daytona cars.
All 6 of them.
All 6 in one spot. Lord March came out and paid
There
to
they
have
are.
all 6 together.
Oh my
And
God.
this is at Goodwood.
Yeah.
Okay, these are banners. You can buy these banners. But these are all 6 of the cars together. And none of the 6 are the same.
Yeah.
And
Everyone is different.
And if you, what's really cool for me is the number 6 car.
Yeah, oh,
that
there.
little 289.
Yeah.
That was a 289 with Webers, and they had this guy Wizzo that was driving it. That white one's a 427. You see, there's a.
It's a coupe with a hardtop.
Well, yeah, but there's a passenger in there, right? And the same thing in that picture there. If you could get it down and look at it, it was a left-hand drive Cobra, right?
Only one?
No, left-hand drive is what we had in the United States. Yeah. So they had that car over there. I'm in the passenger seat. Okay, so I wish I was driving. I was not, but I was in the passenger seat behind the 6 Daytona coupes. And at the beginning of that event, you can see when our group got to go, you can see the 427 smoking the tires. we beat that guy to the first turn and never looked back. And then we passed all 6 Daytona coupes.
You beat them.
Oh, beat them all.
That was Barry Wizzo Williams, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The guy
exactly.
with
Yeah.
Snoop Droop.
So you know him?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Of course, he's
So
pretty
he
famous.
was driving the car because I didn't know the track. It wasn't my car. It wasn't his car either.
And you just grabbed the seat and hold on?
No, well, the
He
funny
was
thing
driving
is,
Vauxhall Firenze.
Yeah.
so the funny thing is, you know, I'm sitting in there in a 289 FIA Cobra, the driver has a roll bar.
You don't have.
You
No
don't have
passenger roll bar, right?
You
I
want
didn't
the
know
roll
why
bar.
but they allowed us to go, right? But it has a down bar from the driver's bar.
Yeah.
There's a down bar into the
Between your
passenger
legs?
compartment, not between your legs, but it's over by the tunnel. So I'm over there, I'm holding on to the down bar like this, right?
Racing.
And Wizzo's over there, and nobody told him it wasn't a race. So
Nobody told you that.
and so he's drifting the corners. He's wide open. He's a great guy. So anyway, I can see why he's a good champion. So I'm holding on, and he looks over at me and he goes, "You okay?" And I'm like, and he's like, "All right." So we passed all those Daytona coupes, man. It was great. Some of them were on tour. I get that, but there was a couple guys that were running them pretty good. But it was fun. And Wizzo was just a great guy. And he couldn't have been nicer. And it was, it was just an honor to be able to get into the car because I didn't know him from Adam, and I just told him, I was here and blah blah blah. And he says, "Oh, just come with me." So we go to the driver's meeting, and he tells the steward, he says, "Gaddy here from America, he's coming with me."
He just said that. And you need to
What
go.
do we need to do? So he says, "Well, you'll need a suit, you need a helmet, you need gloves." Wizzo says to me, "You got all that stuff?" I go, "Yeah, in the United States." He goes, "Don't worry, I've got this."
So he gives you the stuff.
So he found somebody else that loaned me a suit, loaned me a helmet, and then the scrutineers got to check it all out. I got in the car, and there I am. So yeah, the Goodwood, I like the event because the other thing is it's really racing.
Yeah, it's
when they get out there, we didn't really race in that, but we were going pretty fast. But when it's actually race time, they trade paint, just like they did in the 60s.
Paint.
Yeah.
We watch Goodwood all the time, and we keep spending the
nights sending each other
small
videos.
videos to each other.
Look at that! Look at. Okay, you need to go.
I need to keep going, but I'll show you one or two more things because I get excited.
We don't want to waste your time, Gary.
No, it's not wasting my time. It's fun. But so there's a variety of cars. There's a variety of what goes on, the history, things like that. You can see the timeline there is pretty cool with Carroll and his racing career. So that's neat.
He needs to quit because of health issues.
Yeah, so he had a heart condition. So that's another thing. Carroll was looking out the windshield, not the rearview mirror, right? So he was a good race car driver. He won championships. He was world renowned, right? But with the heart condition, he went in and the doctor says, you can't keep driving with those nitro pills under your tongue all the time. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to kill somebody else. You got to quit racing. Did Carroll go home and watch TV and wait to die?
No. He started to make a sports car.
He started to make a sports car. He was forward thinking. He kept going. And by the way, they told him, you might live 5 years.
No.
He lived 52 more years. Heart transplant, kidney transplant. That guy was never done.
Yeah, he never gives up.
He didn't give up. So, eventually we lost him, but all of us.
How many years you worked with him?
So I worked with him the last 16 years of his life. And I've been with the company now 26 years. So it's pretty fun. But look at all these cars. All of them have a story. Pretty cool stuff. Of course, you guys know the GT40. You've probably seen the movie. 65.
That has a great noise.
This is a great car.
Yeah.
That's the 67 Super Snake. So there was one of them. And the guy that owns this loaned it to us just to put it here for the
only
museum.
one.
So they used it for tire testing. It had a NASCAR style 427 in it, and it ran good. But look at those little tires. I mean, oh my
skinny
God.
tires. Yeah.
It was, but that's what it was. The bodies didn't fit well and all that kind of stuff. But that was the technology we had at the time. So all these cars have a story. This guy loaned it to us back. He paid like 5 years ago, so the values continue to go up quite a bit.
It doesn't.
But he paid $2.2 million for that car, so of U.S. dollars. So, and then you've got the some continuation stuff. You got to watch that car though, right there. So that's a real '68 GT500 KR.
It's a real one.
It's the real one. It's very original. My wife's father owned that car.
Oh no. Really?
Oh yeah.
So you're a Shelby family?
Oh yeah. So
Your wife's father had a car like this?
No, it was this car. So he bought it. It was a good driver. He drove it for years, and it became a father-daughter project, right? So she used to work on it with him, change the oil, grease it, all this kind of stuff, right? Because she's a car girl. So she grew up,
so your wife
you know,
is a car girl.
with that, right? So she, very smart lady, put herself through nursing school because that's what she wanted to do, help people and stuff. And and she got a master's degree in nursing. So she's a nurse practitioner, and she put herself through school. And one day, her and her father were driving down the road, and her father says, "You know, you've been a wonderful daughter, and you still are, and you put yourself through school and stuff, and this is your reward."
Oh.
Hands her the keys.
God damn it.
And signs the title over. So then, it was a good driver, but it didn't look very good, right? But solid and all that. So then when I married her, we fixed it.
Your wife's father,
awesome.
But he must be an ace back in time with a car like this.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know what? The fun thing is it's our car, but it's her car. So you know, I tell people it's her car, so don't mess with this.
Yeah.
It's her car. But we drove it. We put like 2,000 miles on it.
Think about it. Back in time, when you got a car like this, you were the king of the hill.
Well, yeah, my '69 Mach 1 had the same powertrain in it. So, you know, I remember going out and beating up on the Corvettes and stuff.
You beat up on the Corvettes.
Well, it was funny because in like 1980, I bought the car used, but like I was at a Ferrari dealership in 1980 or so, and he had Ferraris and Porsches there, and I told him, I said, you know, I drove in my '69 Mach 1 because that's what I could afford, big engine, and I looked around at the dealership and I'm like, the salesman comes out. He says, would you be interested in one of our cars? I said, absolutely. I said, if you have a Porsche or a Ferrari here that will beat my car today in a quarter mile, I will buy it.
Okay.
He says, huh, what you got under the hood? I said, it's a 428 Cobra Jet. He goes, I got nothing for you.
I got nothing for you. So he knows that.
He knew. Now, turning and stopping, not so good.
Okay, but go the straight
line. Go straight line. It was a quick car, so the Porsche was a lot better. The Ferrari was a lot better turning and stopping. But I knew my limitations, right? So I said, you got to beat me in this category. Then I buy the car. Until then, no.
And so, what's that? That's an Aston Martin, eh?
Yeah. So that's a funny car. So you guys saw the movie, Ford versus Ferrari,
yeah, of
right?
course.
Okay. So in the opening scene, Ken Miles and all that. In the opening scene, Carroll Shelby is driving the Aston Martin at Le Mans.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's winning.
He's winning.
But he's fitted nitro pills under his tongue. He comes in, the car catches fire, you know, and they put the fire out. And he says, no, I'm fine. And he gets in, and off he goes, and he wins Le Mans, right? That's the opening scene of the movie. Well, they need Aston Martin to do that. Those cars are millions and millions of dollars. That's the movie car.
This is the car from the movie.
That's the car from the movie. It looks like an Aston Martin.
But it's underneath is it needs to be something else. Yeah, I got it. That's what I need today.
So you got to think about what this is. It's a Mazda Miata.
Don't tell me that.
It's got a turbo though. But look, that's where the firewall was.
Yeah.
It still is. So they moved the driving from over here to over here.
So what's the chassis? The chassis is original?
It's a Mazda Miata.
This is a Mazda Miata?
It's a Mazda Miata with a crappy little fiberglass look-alike Aston Martin body. But it looked good in the movies. You remember the fuel fire? Right?
Yeah.
We were talking about that? Well, look, this is where it caught fire. This is where they had it.
Yeah, they just splash fuel around it and...
Well, they had a thing on there and it filmed up, but that's see, put the fuel.
It's
so
a
that
DBR,
was
it's a DBR1.
But what, it isn't.
It should be a DBR1.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a little different. But if you look at it in the movie, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a mock-up.
Amazing.
Amazing.
But, you know.
Yeah, but that's it. That was in the movies. But that's original.
But it was the movies.
That's original.
Yeah, so that's
you cannot fake that.
That's a King Cobra. So that's one of three, and it's the last of the three.
It was a Can-Am car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were, oh my God, those were monsters, those cars.
Oh,
the
yeah,
McLarens and all.
they were.
No weight, a lot of power.
Yeah, no weight, lots of power,
Big
real
fat
good
wheels.
aerodynamic. You just go. So for its time, it was
Yeah.
silly fast.
Oh, Gary, we let you go, but thank you for the short presentation. You told us that you don't have any time.
I don't, but I kind of like talking about these cars.
Yeah, we love them. We love them.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you like it.
Thank you very much again.
All right.
Thank you, Gary.
Just don't touch my wife's car.
Yeah, okay. We won't touch it.
Menjél vele, Csík, nem lehet lelőni az öreget. Imádom.
This is the UKR.
Yeah, so we showed this at Bear Jackson. We sold the rights to the first 2022.
Did you sell
This
it?
is a 2020. But we did the first 2022. We auctioned it off for charity because Carol's always about giving back, right?
Okay.
And so we auctioned this for charity for $700,000. They didn't get this car because it's my car, but they get the rights to build one like it. But to showcase the differences too, if you look at this side, it has natural finish wheels. If you look at this side, it has a little different look. It's the same wheel, but they're black.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you can change the look of the car, but we put, the natural on one side and the black on the other.
It says, oh, it's 60 years.
So it's the 60th anniversary. And then we changed the interior and suspension stuff. And
This one has 800 horsepower, right?
A lot of
that was a little over 900. It's probably, that one right now is probably about 950. I need that to get to work.
I know. How can you move?
You need to overtake.
Yeah.
You need a lot of power for that.
But when you're stuck in a jam, it's a waste of power.
Yeah, but if you're going 150, you need the
Yeah.
power, right? Because then it takes off like it's going 20. But it's not.
That's
It's going
different.
150.
It's different.
So big power rules, right?
And you have that car coming with 1,000 horsepower, right? The
We've got one that's 1,300 horsepower
13.
now.
Yeah, on Apple, right?
Yeah, that's on E85. Yeah, so it's good stuff.
So, all right.
So
Bugatti Veyron.
trust me, we're hard on the gas, right?
Thank you for that.
It's good to spend some time with some car
Thank
guys.
you, Gary.
I gotta keep
Thank
going.
you.
All right?
Stay safe.
All right, you're in this box right now. So
Yeah.
anything else you really need, give me a call. You got my phone.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I've got it.
Thank you.
Na, hogy milyen ember, érted? Hogy ezt mondják, hogy ezek
Szereti.
ilyet Európában nem látsz,
Szereti.
nagyon keveset.
Szereti, csinálja.
Kurvára
Bazd
éli.
meg. Mindenről tud, az utolsó csavarjáról tud mindegyik.
16 évet dolgozott még Shelbyvel együtt, az öreggel. És versenyzik amúgy ő aktívan.
Azért azt irigylem tőle, hogy 16 évet a Shelbyvel tudott dolgozni.
Nem, hogy ő, de csak így tudsz vinni egy ilyen céget, hogyha érzed, hogy ez olyan, mint nekünk a vinyósok. Mi tudjuk, hogy mit akart, meg mit szeretett volna, ő valószínűleg tudja, hogy merre ment a Shelby, és hát azért látod, hogy jön, azt akasztja le a izét, pedig ülhetne fent egy irodában, és nekem ez a végtelenül szimpatikus,
Nem,
hogy
hát
egy ilyen
és nem neki
hold közvetlen csávó.
Ott kéne ülnie 9 óta egy meetingen.
Igen.
De végre itt van pár petrolhead.
a csajom, ez a feleség.
Mert ez érdekli jobban.
persze.
Szereti, érted?
Kurva jó
Az
fel.
iroda nem arról szól.
Hadinapló, 26. nap.
Csapataink harcban állnak, a napsütéssel küzdve, És hát most végeztünk a Shelby-nél, bejöttünk ide Janihoz, letettük a kocsit és átsétálunk egyet kajálni, ez az ebéd olcsóbb lesz, mert azt mondta a Csík, hogy ő nem éhes.
Jó, mert ekkora reggeli tettem baszki 11-kor, hát érted? Alig bírtam letömni egy autóba.
El volt a csomagtartó szendviccsen. Meg szétömlött kávéval.
Én hoztam nektek.
Köszi, hogy csak a felét öntötted ki.
A negyedik.
Egészen nagyobb cigaretta a dányom.
És itt van Bence is.
Itt vagyok én is. Most kinéztem netről ezt az éttermet.
Azt, hogy cash loans.
Azt írják, hogy biztos, hogy beengedik már.
Jégcsap.
Bruder percek. Ők már otthon vannak, drága barátaim.
És ez milyen étterem? Mit mondtál?
Rák, meg ilyenek. Szeretjük. Nem?
De.
Kopocsunk fog nőni, Peti, veszünk minden, ez Aquaman.
Na tessék, csipod megfizetjük, hogy 8 penét.
Megöllek, bazd meg. Ilyenkor egy ilyen helyre. De tényleg.
Let's go.
Mindig problémás.
Csak hogy megmutatom, hogy egész nap itt állt a lakóbuszunk egy bevásárlóközpont parkolójába. Jövök! Megmutattam, hogy hol pihentettük ma a lakóbuszt. És ez miért volt így? Vagy...
Miért volt így? Azért, mert napközben ott már figyelj, 2 hete vagyok itt, de már mondtam, hogy az a neighborhood, ahol vagyunk. Szóval, hogy az a környék, ahol Janiék laknak, ott nagyon, hogy is mondjam, csak a szomszédok nagyon kényesek bizonyos dolgok.
Yeah, I know.
Mint például az, hogy nem szerencsés, hogy egész nap ott áll egy ekkora lakóbusz, de Jani azt mondta, hogy egyébként csak délután 4-5-től állhat reggelig, az nem fog senkit zavarni, az jobban zavarja őket, hogyha egész nap ott áll. Úgyhogy az onnan 600 méterre lévő bevásárlóközpontnak a parkolójába áthozzuk az árvit. Igen, áthozzuk az árvit, és amit kaptunk Tanitól kölcsön autót, azzal mászkálunk, mert egyébként itt Vegasban bár azt gondolnád, hogy könnyebb, de egyébként ezzel a lakóbusszal egyáltalán nem könnyű sok helyre bemenni, úgyhogy egyszerű autóval vagyunk. Most meg veszünk vizet, meg ilyenek. Aztán többet nem adtak motort neked?
Hát utána átjöttem a Speedzone-hoz.
Ja?
Még akkor azt hiszem októberben teszteltem.